Hey there guys, gals, and non-binary pals, it's DMG and welcome back to Blitz, and today we are going to have another subscriber replay, but I'm going to try a slightly different format. This time I want to have one person featured with a tank theme. Hopefully this makes it a little bit better. I know some people, or I would say a lot of people, don't like to split time with other people on camera when they want to be featured, so I'm going to try and stick to that. That being said, if you're going to send in replays from now on, please send them in at least groups of 2 so I can feature you specifically in a video instead of having you split time with somebody else. Now today we are going to be seeing Fish and Beef playing in the Object 704 and the ISU 152. These are the Tier 8 and 9 Soviet TDs, and they pack a whopping in terms of their gun. The BL-10 is a fantastic weapon, and I'd highly recommend this line if you want to get a great tank destroyer in terms of the Object 704. I personally have my own issues with the ISU 152, but the 268 and the 704 at tiers 10 and 9 are both fantastic. Anyways, let's get into it. This is Fish and Beef, the ISU 152 on Fort Despair, the tier 8 Soviet tank destroyer, platooned with Ariel the Beast, another feature person on my channel for the past few videos that has been sending in some great mastery replays. Now, Fort Despair has a typical tank destroyer bush, and we are going to see Fish and Beef go to this location immediately. Just going to camp, be safe. There's no real reason to push in the ISU early game because you don't really have armor. One of the first things I don't like about it is that it's a 3-shot for any same tier Russian heavy tank. And when you have corners of your tank, these large rectangular corners that are completely unarmored, it makes it very easy for tanks to poke on you and shoot your weak points without you being able to shoot them back. Now this kind of pigeonholes the ISU into a position where you need to play a sniper role to keep the game in front of you and keep unspotted. But I do think that the Borsig is better than that, as you stay camouflaged with the turret. Anyways, we're not really going to see snipey today. We're going to see more shoot them in the face kind of gameplay while getting up close. They rush Ariel, and the T-49 gets taken out first by a lovely, lovely shot right on the move, and this RU does not do a good job of driving, allowing Fish and Beef just to turn right around and blast the RU-1 in the ass. That sounds terrible. But anyway, when Fish and Beef is able to use his alpha in a smart manner, the ISU is a fantastic tank. Now, with 286 millimeters of base penetration, even the thickest armor does not elude you at tier 8. Most tanks will fall with ease to the BL-10. And at tier 8, 286 millimeters of penetration is almost kind of overkill. I mean, what do you need 286 millimeters of penetration for at tier 8? And even at tier 9, it's questionable, right? 286 is something that you're looking to penetrate the front of a mouse cheek or something like that. You know, that's about 30 millimeters higher than anything you'd find on your really high pen tier 10 mediums like your Leopard 1s and your Leopard PTAs, right? It's just such monstrously high penetration. And, you know, even like the IS-6 angled does, you know, should have a reasonably easy time going through. I mean, unless the IS-6 driver can angle very, very well and stay hauled down, then it may become a problem. But tanks that use raw thickness armor like that AT-15, not a problem. As you can see, Fish and Beef just auto-aiming there, punching right through the AT-15. Its front, you know, and most people think that the AT-15 is a fantastically armored tank, and while it is, it doesn't really mean anything to 286 millimeters of penetration and some really nice HE. Ariel doing a great job in the IS-5, protecting Fish and Beef right there, absorbing the damage just as an IS-5 should, and another great shot right through a small opening. Now, this is when the gun works. The gun can be quite finicky. I'm not really sure if there is a vertical stabilizer on this tank. I'd assume that there is, or maybe the equipment slot either for the refined gun or the vertical stabilizer. I don't really know, but the idea that he's hitting these shots like this, either, you know, Russian bias has just blessed him and kissed him on the head, or he has a vertical stabilizer. I would probably say for that many shots in a row, I'd assume a vertical stabilizer. Anyway, we're on to the next game. This is the ISU 152 on Mayan Ruins. Now, on Mayan Ruins, there's a typical tank destroyer spot that most people go to, and we're going to see that today. Now back to the ISU and why I don't like it. Another kind of bad thing, well, I'd say really bad thing that I don't like about the ISU as compared to the Borsig is that the camouflage is much worse. I've seen ISUs that are twice the distance away from the Borsig get spotted at roughly the same time, and the Borsig cloaks noticeably before the ISU does. Or the Borsig cloaks before the ISU in the terms that even though it's at a shorter distance, the Borsig's camo value is just so great that it will cloak at a shorter distance than the ISU 152. And I find that really important for tank destroyer play, because if you're spotted in this tank, man, you better be moving. Or, you know, if you're not moving, then they're not shooting at you, then by all means farm away. But the Borsig, which has about 215 millimeters of AP pen, is more than enough to go through Tier 8 heavies and Tier 9 heavies lower plate weak spots, right? And of course, you do have higher penetration on your heat in your Borsig than you do with your APCR in your ISU. The last thing that I don't really enjoy about the ISU is that it has terrible bloom. Now, when you turn the tracks on this tank, the reticle blows up enormously. Whereas in the Borsig, you're just turning a turret, you're keeping your camouflage set, and you have less bloom, allowing you to make the shots and not aim as long at targets, which I think really makes a difference for successful tank destroyer play. But that's not stopping Fish and Bee from having great games in the ISU. Now, I mean, the ISU has this raw power kind of thing, and we're going to see that with an HE round into the Comet for 1002 damage. I'm not sure if calibrated shells is being used there, but regardless, 1000 damage into the side of a Tier 7 medium takes roughly 5/6 of its health when the Comet has about, what, 1200 HP, right? Is my math right on that one? I'm not really sure. I'll have to kind of calculate that out a little bit later. That was just quick maths. Anyway. Going after this IS-6, that Dracula probably should have gone back and engaged the Comet, and then even if the 1375 clipped out on the Dracula would just eat the 1375 alive with a ram and a few shots, or a few HE shots into the turret. We've all seen it before when a Dracula rams an SP-1C or something to that effect, right? Anyways, when in a bush, the ISU 152 does have decent camo. Probably should have set the camo, but I can understand why he did that, and I probably would have actually gone for the same decision. I'm still thinking about math, right? I probably would have gone for the same decision, because I wouldn't want the 1375 to repair the tracks and start moving again, causing my reticle to possibly bloom if he got out of my gun arc, right? Now, this is a mistake right here. If there is one mistake in this replay, should have gone for an HE. You can one-shot Helsings with high-powered HE in your SU-152s, your Borsigs, your ISU-152s. Should be really easy kill there. Did not take the opportunity and ends up wasting some efficiency and time in the team. But granted, right, is everyone thinking about that? You know, would I have taken that shot with AP, or would have tried to chance the HE shot? I probably would have tried to chance the HE roll, but, you know, I do have no problems using the AP round. And I mean, and especially in this situation, or in the situation about 30 seconds ago, where it looks like C4XX. It sounds bad for me to say that they're all the same, but I'm getting names confused here because of the platoon, right? Anyways, Fish and Bee is going to put more good rounds and effective fire into this IS, or the WZ. Unfortunately, it's not enough to save the Dracula from the Tiger II, but does confirm the kill. And this is what's important in situations that are tight like this. You need to confirm kills. That Tiger II does do a great job of getting into cover immediately as he sees the ISU and says, fuck no, I'm not doing that, and just wants to get right into cover. If you go watch that back, it's kind of funny watching his movement. Anyway, he needs to push into the Tiger II, and this is not a good spot for the ISU because you're caught in a crossfire. You know, and his teammates dealing with the 1776 Indy, and the ISU does not have the armor to brawl. However, it does have a thick gun mantlet, and we're going to see that right here as the Tiger II will have a little bit of trouble with the ISU. Now, 286 millimeters of penetration, 3,200 DPM allows you to go right through the Tiger II's front without much trouble. And we're going to see the Tiger II bounce off the ISU's mantlet, allowing Fish and Beef to have the hit points to play against the 1776 Indy. Now, I would classify both of these tanks, if I had to create like a meta tier list, I'd put both of these tanks around the same level. You know, they're not fantastic, but they're good. They're solid. It's just that the ISU does have some fatal flaws, which you saw, you know, just those weak corners on the superstructure just really hinder it from being a good TD. Maybe when the Tier 9 Chinese TD comes out, which is like a steroid version of the ISU 152, maybe it will be everything I'm hoping for. But that's what I'm talking about. When you're turning the tracks like that, it's not, the ISU situation is not too good, and it allows the T-34 to get on another shot, which means that he needs to hit this shot right now. Fish and Beef needs to penetrate. HE, just a splash right into the turret. Doesn't take the chance. 216 damage is easy for a 152mm gun on a weak side turret of the T-34. Great stuff there. Good mastery badge. Another small thing I'd like to mention is that I'm keeping the format the same in the sense that I'm keeping the post-game results at the end. It is much easier for formatting. I know some of you said that it was not your preference. However, you said that you wouldn't, that it is not too much of a worry or a trouble if the post-game results were at the end. So in kind of a quickie baby kind of fashion, I would like to keep the post-game results at the end because it is just so much easier to format and I can pump out videos faster. That being said, I do apologize for not pumping out videos as quick as possible. I do work 9 hours a day at a bank, so please cut me some slack. I do not have all the time in the world to spend making videos on Blitz, and when I get home, the last thing, well, I wouldn't say the last thing I want to do, but you know, it does take work to put together videos, watch them, commentate on them, and make sure that you're getting effective commentary in to help maybe understand some thoughts or just kind of provide exciting commentary, right? And after a 9-hour workday, sounding excited sometimes is quite the task. So I do apologize for that, but hopefully I will be getting some more videos out in the near future as my schedule might clear up. We'll see. Anyways, the Object 704, Himmelsdorf. Himmelsdorf is one of those maps that is not necessarily known for being a good TD map, but we see bounces right in the beginning, and the Object 704 fixes one of the worst things about the ISU, and it is those corners of the tank. Now, the Object 704's superstructure is actually sloped, unlike the ISU, and it's better in raw thickness, and it has spaced armor, which means you can absorb heat shells. You can absorb higher penetration shells with ease. Now, it's not going to bounce everything. It shouldn't bounce everything. It's not impenetrable, right? But against, you know, tanks like the IS-8, which maybe should have aimed a little bit more, the Object 704 does have that thick mantlet, and against the IS-6, you know, forcing to aim for the corners, maybe Russian accuracy isn't all there, and, you know, it carries HE, making it a fantastic sniper and a fantastic brawler in a pinch, unlike the ISU. It's a very flexible TD compared to its Tier 8 cousin, and it receives much better gun stats in terms of the aim time, the dispersion for this BL-10. This is where, I mean, this is the pinnacle of the BL-10, and while, you know, most people think that the 268 carries the BL-10, it doesn't. So this is the pinnacle of BL-10, and the Object 704 is one of my favorite Tier 9 tank destroyers in the game, even surpassing that of the Jagdtiger and the T-30. I'd probably say this is my favorite Tier 9 tank destroyer in the game, because, one, it has armor that can bounce. He's bounced heavy tanks so far, and ammo racks a T-54 right there. Great stuff there, and that's what happens when you show your Russian sides to 152mm BL-10 action. Anyway, 704, like I was saying, fixes a lot of things. It has better accuracy. It has better armor. Its HP pool is about 150% that of the ISU's. It just has a lot more survivability, a lot more durability, and the camo is so much better. It is almost, I would say, tier for tier is Borsig level. It is very good. You'd be surprised at how close people will get to you, and you will, or they will not see you, and you will have the first shot advantage. And it kind of mitigates the long reload of the BL-10, but being able to make sure you penetrate Tier 10 tanks with 286mm of penetration means a lot more at this tier than it does at Tier 8 when you're firing at Tiger 2s, right? So the Object 704 tier for tier is noticeably better, and having that fantastically high penetrating gun is so much better. Anyways, that is the game. Great stuff there. I hope you all enjoyed that. One quick note before I close, remember that if you are sending in replays, send in at least 2 so you can have a video all to yourself. If you enjoyed that content, please hit that like button and subscribe for more, and if you didn't, please leave your constructive criticism in the comment section. As always, I appreciate the opportunity to share my passion with you today, and I hope to see you next time.